Our performance was completely unacceptable. We got out-coached in every phase. We got outplayed in every phase. We got out-executed. And it was completely unacceptable and embarrassing. And everyone is being held accountable, and it starts with me. And the only thing we can do is go back to work. And our total focus is on getting this football team prepared and ready today to be able to compete at our standard for this Saturday against Texas A&M. I think it's the performance at all levels from everyone. That's what we're talking about, and being able as a coach to get your guys to play at a very high level. That's what I mean holding coaches accountable. And holding players accountable is to get in there and to execute the plan and continue to play and play fast and play hard and take care of their preparation. You know, we get them 20 hours a week. 3 of those count as games. And so, you know, the accountability for everybody to make sure that we're not overlooking anything or any aspect of our program or any opponent. You know, I think me as a coach, have got to do a better job of preparing him for exactly what we're asking him to do. And, you know, especially 2 games into this thing with him. And so that's on me. That's completely on me. It's not on him. And just to be able to you know, to give the answers that we want in the opportunity in the time frame that he needs to take them in. And whether that's getting the ball out on the edge in a run, you know, a fade ball on a run situation, letting him know when we expect that, when we don't expect that. And that's not on Nick. That's completely on me. Well, number one, we came back in here yesterday to go to work. And from a mental standpoint, I wouldn't expect anything different than these guys to show up and respond. Their back was against the wall after the Colorado State or after Ole Miss, and they came out and they had an incredible week of preparation. I feel like this was a huge learning experience for everyone involved and where we are in our program right now. And so I don't expect anything but for us to set our jaw and get ready to go. And your back's against the wall, and the only thing that matters is, and as I mentioned earlier, the total focus is on the people in this building and getting them prepared to be the best we can be this Saturday. And that's what it is. It's about a response right now.
After evaluating the film, again, Auburn's a very good football team. Thought our kids played hard. Thought we need to play better. And like I say, we are definitely not happy with the outcomes we're getting and where we're at. We're making some mistakes at critical times and issues. We got to be more consistent on how we execute and do the things we do. But the thing about the mistakes, they're all very correctable. And the things we do, how we do it, we have to do a better job as a staff of coaching these guys and getting the techniques. And a lot of things are very technical in the things we're doing. Get them better, more consistent on how we do it. And then they got to go out and execute and do those things. Buddy Johnson's really evolving into a very, very good leader. He is playing very well, doing some really good things, and, you know, becoming that guy and understanding. Carper does a great job in that regard, some of those other guys. So, I mean, you know, there's a good group. Man, Braden, is your punter now. Those guys have tremendous respect for him, and he speaks, and they really listen to him. They have a lot of respect for what he does and how he does it because they know how hard he works. So there's a good core group of those guys who understand that and understand how we have to just go work and play ball. I think you just got to relax and make the plays. There's opportunities and there's plays to be made, whether it's a missed throw, a drop, a missed block. You just got to execute. And sometimes, I mean this, sometimes you try too hard. Sometimes you try too hard. You press yourself into perfection and you can't. You got to perfect yourself into executing and just trust it, trust your eyes and play. And that's something you got to work through. I think we are getting better. I think we're learning how to play these situations. I think each of these will be learning experience. I think they're playing very hard. And like I said, we've played 2 really good football teams that we had a chance and opportunities to make plays on. And we have to get better at that. We have to get better, but they're working to get better. And I think we have gotten better in some areas. But the key is, how do your teammates respect you? How do they respond to what you say, when you say, and to your actions of how you practice? So in that regard, Kellen's not an overly vocal guy, but he's much more vocal because he's much more comfortable in his skin doing his job now and knowing what to do. And he can also help people. And when you're talking about being vocal to help a guy, when you're a quarterback, your knowledge of everything that's going on offense, It's not just, hey, you're pumping them up, but you know what they're doing to you a lot is asking you questions. Hey, if they do that, well, how should I do this? Is that what you want? And I think he answers those questions very well now through the knowledge of what he has and what he's worked with. So it's making him become more vocal because he's much more comfortable with the whole role and situation.
Back to this coming weekend, a couple of teams that are coming off of losses meet Saturday at noon Eastern in Arlington, Texas. The CFB 150 showcase game on ESPN. It's their annual game at Jerry World. Texas A&M and Arkansas trying to right their respective ships. Aggies after losing at home to Auburn. The Hogs after losing at home to San Jose State. If history is any indicator, you should be able to expect an interesting, drama-filled fourth quarter type of football game. You know, A&M has won all 7 meetings since joining the conference, but since the series moved to Arlington in 14, games have been pretty close. 4 of the 5 at Jerry's World, in fact, have been decided by 7 points, and 3 of those went to overtime. As for the Aggies, head coach Jimbo Fisher reflecting on the home loss to Auburn.
We are definitely not happy with the outcomes we're getting and where we're at. We're making some mistakes at critical times and issues. We got to be more consistent on how we execute and do the things we do. But the thing about the mistakes, they're all very correctable. And the things we do, how we do it, we have to do a better job as a staff of coaching these guys and getting the techniques. And a lot of things are very technical in the things we're doing. Get them better, more consistent on how we do it. And then they got to go out and execute and do those things. At the same time, it's close, but you're as close as your urgency takes you.
These are 2 quarterbacks, Kellen Mond and Nick Starkel, who obviously were teammates. Now they'll go head-to-head here. Kellen Mond in particular, seems like they can't run the football right now. What is your level of concern for Mond in particular?
Yeah, I don't have concern for Mond in the way he's playing. I think he's exceptional. I think he's done well with the circumstances and the inability to run the football that they've had. But you look down this schedule, they still got to play Bama, Georgia, LSU. So I have a lot of concern for Kellen Mond because they can't run the football right now. 30 rushing yards out of the running backs is not acceptable. This team needs to get back to basics. And you look at that schedule, if they lose all 3 of those, they run the table, it's only 7 wins. They got in games like this, This is where they have to grow. Because the schedule at the end of the year, the record is not going to be indicative of how good this team is or where they're going. They have to dominate games like this, and they haven't done that in the past.
Mond has regressed a little bit, man. I mean, he hasn't taken that next
step. Over 335 yards last game.
That's
and they
good.
They had 30 rushing yards out of their running backs. But he still has to play better in those bigger moments, those bigger games, though.
What about Starkel? 5 interceptions in 1 football game. That cost him against San Jose.
The concern is there for Starkel. And the main reason I'm really concerned is because, for one, he doesn't have his Justin Bieber.
He's not a believer anymore.
No, he's not a believer, so obviously he's not going to play. No, but seriously, coming off 5 interceptions, playing against your team, how emotional will you be, your former team, playing against them? Rakeem Boyd also come from Texas A&M. How emotional will you be going into that ball game again and knowing that last week you didn't put your best performance out there, and then there's still another guy behind you who knows his offense? Anytime you slip up, here comes that other guy. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can respond in a big game like this, especially coming off a bad game that he just had last week.
They both need to bounce back.
Big Worm is in California. You are on the air. Go right ahead.
Thank you, Paul, for taking the call. I know we've heard a lot about the hog misery all day today and all week, but I guess my question to you is just looking at where we're at 4 games into year 2, and I've tried to be a patient man with Coach Morris. But I don't know what the question is. What will it take to keep his job, or what's it going to take for them to move on? I think the administration is going to ride it out. But would you agree that this week's game against A&M is make or break for his future, and maybe they move on at the end of the year? Because, you know, they didn't play well against Portland State. Colorado State tied them late, and we know what happened this past Saturday. And I think there needs to be some sort of improvement, particularly at this stage.
Worm, I don't think this is a make-or-break game because I don't think Arkansas is going to win the game. I think what's really going to be interesting, this game's in Jerry's World in Arlington. I wonder how many people are going to be there because there's not much enthusiasm now for either school. And, I mean, one of these days it would be nice to see Arkansas beat A&M, but I don't think they're in the same league right now.
No, I agree. I don't think they're going to win the game as much as I want to, and I'm wearing their Hog T-shirt today. So I always will love them. But the reality is, depending upon how they lose, if they get blown out, I think that this puts a stamp or further a deeper mark against Coach Morris and that staff and their inability to get things going. Young team or not, rebuilding or not, I don't think any of us are being too unfair at this stage.
Yeah, but you start looking at the Arkansas schedule, and you try to figure out when and against which school are they going to win. I mean, I'm struggling to come up with a couple of wins, aren't you?
Yeah,
I mean, you look right now as they have
Western
after
Kentucky,
A&M
maybe?
they've got Kentucky. That's on the road. They're not going to win
Right.
that game. They have Auburn at home. They're not going to win that game. Alabama, they're not. And, Mississippi State that might be their best shot. If they don't beat Mississippi State, they're going to end up 3-9.
Yeah, that's my fear. And I think Western Kentucky is squeaked in there somehow as well. But if you don't beat A&M or Mississippi State, that's my thing. And you only have a one-game improvement of last year.
Yeah, you better beat
Full
someone
respect to his
because I mean, at some point where a coach's credibility is all he has, and Chad Morris has really sold himself on a lot of the glitz and sizzle and hope and faith, and right now there's not much of any of that to go around the state of Arkansas. Meanwhile, A&M, to see plenty of familiar faces on the Arkansas sideline. Remember, this game used to be one of the headliners in the SEC. It is still being played on Saturday. Yeah, Chad Morris, he was once at A&M. Well, like a graduate. John Chavis, D coordinator there. Starkel, quarterback. Boyd, running back. Can they help the Razorbacks get their first SEC win under Chad Morris?
A&M coming off a bad loss. Arkansas, well, coming off an epic loss. Is Arkansas ever going to get it turned around?
Arkansas's got to get it turned around. I mean, they have the right quarterback in place now. I think, the back and forth early in the season was an ode to a guy that knows the offense well, but's not as talented, and a guy that Nick Starkel that's still learning how to play this position and protect the football, but is more talented. Look, 5 interceptions is not acceptable. Losing to San Jose State is not acceptable. So this team needs to play angry. They need to play like what they've done is not good enough. I expect to see that, but if you're Nick Starkel, the more I watch him on film, he's just predetermining reads, Paul. He's going, okay, walk to the line of scrimmage. I know I'm going to go here. This is going to be open. And when it's not, he doesn't have an answer. He forces it. You cannot do that against this defense. They're much better than he saw last week. So, yes, they're going to be better, but they're not going to win this football game. They're just not there yet. This is a complete rebuild for that program on both sides of the football.
In our CFB 150 game of the weekend, Arkansas and A&M in Arlington.
Wild finishes in that series. I bet we'll in for another one.
You think so?
Yeah, sneak peek on my picks.
You might be calling for a close game. Potentially. A&M, a big, chunky favorite. All right, meanwhile, SEC Nation is in Auburn as the Tigers host Mississippi State. Guys, let's go. The series has been close most of the time, but A&M has won all 7 meetings since joining the SEC. And since the series moved to Arlington, it's been close. 4 of the 5 meetings have been decided by 7 points, and 3 of them in overtime. Of course, the next installment of the series, again, Saturday at noon at Jerry World.
Let's put it in gear. Let's go to work today. What's up, Big Joe? Big week, huh? Big week here. Big week here. Movement week. Need to have some movement this week now. Let's go get it, baby. Let's go get it. Let's go.
Arkansas is taking a day one approach. They hustle and compete in practice and get back to the basics.
Good, bad that they lost against San Jose State? Are you expecting them to want to get that taste out of their mouth on Saturday?
You'd much rather win because your confidence and things grow and you build from that. But at the same time, it presents an urgency to you, and hopefully it does, and how you play and prepare this. They're a very good team. Chad's a good coach, been around a long time. Sometimes you're fighting an uphill battle.
Know where you're supposed to be at. Sideline awareness out here, guys. Keep them in bounds. Know where you're at now. Know where you're at, Devois. There's a max line out here for a reason, all right? If you squeeze that sidelines and get 2 yards from that sideline, that guy's got to throw a perfect ball. Give yourself some room. Hold the max line. Hold the max line. Hold the max line. Hold it. Good. I'm good with that. Good. Nice. Attack. Right there, behind you. That a good ball. It's a big game for both teams. Both teams' backs against the wall. You're going to see the best of both football teams this Saturday. With all the connections to Texas A&M, that adds another dimension, and so it's going to be it'll be a great battle.
Clemson is the king of college football. The Tigers have won 2 of the last 3 national championships. When Dabo Swinney was building his program from 2011 through 2014, one of his key architects was offensive coordinator Chad Morris.
Nice and easy. Make sure I'm stepping at him. Toes at him.
We just fit, we connected. I told him, I said, I need you 2 years. And he was here 4.
Ball out.
They're doing great. It's a tough job. It was in a tough spot when he got there, but if they will be patient with him, he'll win. Because he's got a good staff. They'll recruit. He's passionate. And then he'll get an identity. And then eventually he'll build something special there. But it's just going to take a little time.
The experience you got last year is going to pay off, man.
The biggest thing going into year 2 now is just going to be able to be consistent.
One day at a time, man. Some days you're mashing the grapes, other days you're drinking the wine.
Really a lot of little things that add up, but that's usually the way a football game is determined.
Little things. Let's go, CJ. Let's go, man. Little things, babe. Let's do the things. Let's go, Big Nick. CJ, let's go. Let's have a good day today, man. Got to keep getting better, man.
Defining success for the Arkansas Razorbacks, we just want to be the best we can be. And whatever that end result is in December, all I know is this, is that today matters.
One reason we're all here, man, it has to get better. Challenge each other, make each other better. Go for here, special teams. Every on 3, ready, 1, 2, 3. Roll it, let's go, let's go, let's go.
The new culture being created at Arkansas can be summarized in one word.
Our motto is every, and whatever word follows every, it really does matter. Every one, every rep, every breath.
The word every strengthens whatever follows. Every minute, every play, every day. It's the Arkansas way.
Work your fundamentals now. Work your fundamentals. Let's go. Everything counts on it. Work your fundamentals.
Going into year 2, one of the things that I felt like we had to do is we had to celebrate success. There was success happening within the walls of this building, and so we came up with a championship belt.
And maybe that's the way we win the belt today. 0 turnovers wins the belt.
Turnovers trump everything. 0 turnovers would give an offensive belt. I thought it was going to be great. It's really turned out to be phenomenal. It's a big, big deal to these guys.
Let's make sure we have a great meeting. Hey, we'll compete for that belt tomorrow now. And the last thing I'll tell you this, man, we've earned that locker room. And then when we get in there, we'll talk a little bit more. How about that? Y'all ready? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Every on 3. Ready? 1, 2. Let's go. Hurry up.
We had to do a good job as a coaching staff of stressing to our players that there's been many people that have wore this logo before them, and there'll be many people that wear it after them, and what they do defines their legacy.
So you guys give it up for our guys right here.
There's a couple things that I tell you that I learned playing right here on this field. When it's time to perform, the time to prepare has passed. When it's time to perform, the time to prepare has passed. You never know when your opportunity is coming. You never know. So you practice every day that you're gonna get your shot.
These young men are still preparing, but game time approaches. Arkansas is ready to join the class of the SEC.
Listen up, everybody up right here, let's go. All right, what do you think? Yeah, hey, what's our standard? Best. Is this best? Absolutely, let me tell you something first and foremost, man. There's people, there's our fans, there's our alumni, there's former players that make this happen. This doesn't just happen overnight. This doesn't just happen. These are people that give to this university because they love this university and they love what the Razorbacks represent. And we're an extension of them. And everything we do impacts so many people and so many lives across our great state. And don't forget that. This right here, you've worked extremely hard for this, but guess what, man? We got to keep working. We got to keep working, right? That's what we got to do. We got to keep working. There's a lot of people that are counting on us. more important, this group, this family right here, man, is one more step closer to getting this program where we want to get to. And it's just one day at a time, man. That's all I can ask you to be. So let's go out and let's keep getting better. You got it? Here we go, man. Here we go. Every on three. Ready, 1, 2, 3.
The Texas Aggies caused the Hackles to rise on the back of the Razorback, but once more the Arkansas team rose to the challenge on Kyle Field.
Texas A&M and Arkansas have a long football rivalry. They first met in 1903. As charter members of the Southwest Conference, they played every season from 1934 through 1991, when Arkansas joined the SEC.
Rolling to his right, stump throws, and it is caught. Touchdown, Gary Oliver.
The Tigers and the Bulldogs, not the only game on the docket today. Here's your slate, Spears.
Yes, sir. You got Texas A&M, Arkansas. It's been a beast in Jerry World, even though some of these teams have looked bad. Kellen Mond has an opportunity to get back on the right track, get A&M 3-2.
We have football coming up soon, noon on ESPN. Immediately following us, it'll be Texas A&M and Arkansas. Boy, the Hogs have really been scuffling. Austin San Jose State, Coach Zero Sugar counting us down to kick off just about 2 hours away before these SEC foes get together again.
Yeah, I tell you what, you look at the Aggies offense, and they've struggled to run the ball so far this season. Last year they averaged 219. This year only 144 yards a game on the ground. But this might be what the doctor ordered, because Arkansas's defense, they've been getting shredded in the running game. I expect Texas A&M to run the ball and go play action with Kellen Mond today.
Hey, I wasn't the only one who had a rough Saturday last week. Nick Starkel had a really rough Saturday. 5 interceptions. The first SEC QB to do that since 2011 when Zach Stout did it for Ole Miss against Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It was almost 6.
Yeah, look, this is a part of this football from a football standpoint. This is when you're just not seeing the field.
You know it's bad when Beebs weighs in. You know, Starkel wore that Beebs cutoff. That was like his thing, and he got so mad at his 5 interception performance that he ripped it right down the middle. You can see Beebs not especially thrilled.
He's going, I want nothing to do with this guy.
I just don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it, guys. I'm just be honest. I don't know how I feel about it wearing a Bieber shirt under my.
Not one under here?
You
no
got
Beebs?
One? Were you a Beebs guy, Tim?
Did you ever have a Beebs haircut, Tebow?
You do?
Nuh-uh, man.
Are you kidding me?
No, dude.
That
the
is
Beebs haircut goes over here somewhere.
No, that's Beebs for days. You know he's going to change it every 2 weeks. That's hardcore.
My haircut's like.
You use more product than him, though.
Oh,
hey, when you
I use more product than anybody.
When you and Tim go get your hair done, what y'all tell them? Like to the left or the right?
No, I tell him go. I tell him go number 2 all the way up to a fade and just give me a faux hawk, man. It's a faux hawk, bro.
Number 2.
Hey, Paul, what do you tell him?
I mean, I'm just thinking
hey, just a little off the sides. Just a little bit off the sides.
Lead the sides.
I always tell him, I said, leave it a little bit on the top.
Oh, I love you, Paul Feinbaum. Let's take a look at Jerry World, y'all, where later today, Texas A&M and Arkansas will face off. Nick Starkel will do his very best not to throw all those interceptions. 4 of the last 5 games in this series decided by a single score. Olivia Decker had the opportunity to catch up with Texas A&M coach Jimbo Fisher.
Thank you, Coach. Tough loss to Auburn last week. What did you all shore up in practice?
Well, I just get more detailed, be very detailed, understand how every play makes a difference, and just play one play at a time. Quit worrying about the results and just execute the plays.
Your quarterback, Kellen Mond, told us there was an emphasis on starting fast today. How can that mindset help you moving forward?
Well, I think you get out to a good start, get your confidence going, and you got to keep finishing faster. Don't have the breaks in the game, and you don't know which play is going to affect the game, so you don't let any of them do it. You play all of them to the fullest, and hopefully we can get out of the blocks well today.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And Coach Zero Sugar counting us down to kickoff here on ESPN. Following College Game Day, Texas A&M and Arkansas. Hogs, I tell you what, it's been a rough go for the Aggies. I feel like they've underachieved. Jimbo's talking about cleaning up some stuff. It's been enough. Maybe that's what the doctor ordered for them.
Could be.
Well, Arkansas head coach Chad Morris told us that in his 2 years there, they had their best 2 days of practice this week. They're ready for a redemption game after losing to San Jose State last week. Also ready for redemption is quarterback Nick Starkel, playing his former team. He lost the starting quarterback job to Kellen Mond. And Kellen Mond told us that their emphasis this week is starting fast. In both the Auburn loss and Clemson loss, Aggies didn't score a touchdown till the fourth quarter. If they want to play games fast, they had to start practice fast. Let's see if they can do that down to Don Davenport in Nashville.
50 minutes to kick off at Jerry World. There's Nick Starkel. We discussed just a moment ago what a difficult weekend he had last weekend. 5 interceptions, the first time that's happened since 2011 in the conference. What's he got to do to settle down today, Tim?
Well, what a huge opportunity to bounce back against a really good team in A&M. And no one's giving them a chance, but everything's in front of him. And when you go through a tough game, you want to have a game where you can bring everything back.
And he'll face off against Kellen Mond. We see Kellen warming up as well. He had a tough one last weekend as these Auburn Tigers beat them at home. He is a really good football player, though.
Absolutely.
Marcus. He's a really good player.
And look, like they said, they need to get going early. A&M has been stagnant in the beginning of games.
Texas A&M and Arkansas. Coke Zero Sugar counts us down to kickoff, neutral site game. You know what, 3 of the last 5 have gone to overtime here. They need to elevate Mond's play a little bit as he gets ready. Kellen Mond, a little bit up and down. There's been some accuracy issues.
Yeah, I think the issue is they haven't been able to run the ball effectively, and when you can't run the ball, it affects your play-action game, which Kellen Mond needs as far as being an accurate quarterback. And I think Jamon Osborne, he's gonna have a big game today. Speller, you got guys back there. This is what the doctor ordered. Going up against an Arkansas defense, very porous defense. You can run the ball on these guys. I think they're gonna have a big game offensively.
Remember when they lost to 2 teams, Clemson and Auburn.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, there's Nick Starkel. Remember, he used to play at Texas A&M. He threw 5 picks against San Jose State last week and then declared afterwards he was throwing away the Justin Bieber t-shirt he'd been wearing to warm up in. So he threw 5 picks against the Spartans, and now we go.
Now we go.
Great name here.
Yeah, we had to put Bumper Pool up on the board here just to show you. Leads the team in tackles in 2 of the last 4 games. Bumper Pool, be calling him hopefully a few times today, making some tackles for the Hogs.
Let's do some picks. We're starting with Texas A&M and Arkansas and Jerry World. Spears, who you got?
I'm going with the Aggies, man. I mean, look, we have to base what we've seen. Right now, Arkansas is trying to find their way. Starkel threw 5 picks. I think he'll have a better day. It means it's hard not to have a better day. But Texas A&M today, they start fast with Kellen Mond. They get it done in Dallas.
This segment's called Belk Winning with Style. How could you go with Arkansas and winning with style in the same sentence? Of course I'm going A&M, man.
Man, I thought I was the cynic on this panel. But I completely agree with you.
All right. We got a long year and a lot of ball left, man. Got a long year and a lot of ball left. A lot of things can happen. What we got to make happen is what's got to happen today. That's all you can control. Control what you can control. Do what you can do. Be who you can be. One play at a time. That's all you can control. Think about it. Communicate with the guy beside you and have fun. Have fun playing ball, man. Love playing ball. Why you in that backyard dreaming of playing in places like this, doing things like this, games like this, a conference like this? Get out, play ball, relax, and turn it loose. Tell them to lock the gate because it's on. It's on, man. And we're gonna fight until we can't fight no more. And then we finish that, and we don't feel like we got any more in us, we're gonna dig a little deeper, and we're gonna fight a little harder because of the guys around us, and the guys that have battled with us, and the guys that are locking arms with us. That's why. Too much sacrifice has gone into this thing. Let's fight, man. Let's go get this. Every on 3. Ready, 1, 2.
Let's find out how bad they want to play football today. Because we want an SEC win today. Let's get this thing, baby. Let's find out how bad they want it today. Pride on 3. Pride on me. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, let's let those Hogs loose today now. Let them run, man. You'll be surprised what can happen if you'll let them loose. Get them up. Let's go. Let's turn them loose today. Here we go. Every on 3. Ready, 1, 2.
Rusty, is it too late now to say sorry? I couldn't help myself. Justin Bieber reference, guys.
Oh, I see what you did there, Olivia. I see what you did. For me, it's another Bieber special, a no-brainer that urgency is the buzzword for both Starkel and Mond today for respective different reasons. We're underway. Arkansas winning the toss. They elect to receive. It'll be 1st down and 10 when they get the ball. Coming into the game this week. One play, one player, one moment can turn an entire season around. They get the pass complete to O'Grady. 7, their most potent wide receiver not in the ballgame here in this opening series. They gash that front for the first down. That's Rakeem Boyd. Mond under heat and sacked back at the 48-yard line. McTelvin Agim.
Watch him just get up the field. He's going to beat the guard. 55, Kenyon Green, inside swim. Center, Colton Prater tries to get over and help.
Against his former Aggie teammates. Completes the pass to his tight end, O'Grady, who tiptoes up the sideline. Osborne split to the bottom of your screen. They elect to run it. And down to the 20-yard line, that's Isaiah Spiller. Mond gets rid of it quick. Touchdown, Aggies. Smith with the grab. The owner and the visionary of this building. Pass complete out of the backfield, actually the tight end, O'Grady, who has been a favorite target of Starkel. Blitz coming. Starkel got away from a tackler and made the pass right near the first down. Let's look at the spot. They'll give it to Morris.
And finding the open target out in the flats.
They pitch it into the boundary. Boyd on the loose and down to the 30. Missed earlier from 51. This one from 46, and he drills it home with authority. Davis in motion. The option pass to Davis. Nowhere to go. Good defense by Arkansas. On sets, now takes off and sacked. Back at the 20-yard line by Soley. Soley playing with that big club on his hand, but good enough to wrap up Mond for a loss of 4, Dusty.
Well, it's a design quarterback run. It's going to be a draw, a setback, and you'll see the offensive line starts to block up the field, getting to the second level. It's an outstanding job. It's a game of inches and extra effort. The true freshman Isaiah Spiller makes a man miss, lunges, and gets the Aggies on the board.
Offensive coordinator, here's the jet sweep. Hammonds on the move and picks up the first down, pushed out of bounds. Like Dabo did, he changed the culture from the inside. Starkel over the middle to his tight end O'Grady. O'Grady deep into A&M territory at the 32. Well, you can understand why the NFL scouts love his talent. They set up the screen well. Whaley. And another first down at the 17-yard line. Starkel, they tried to hit the corner coming inside. Picked off. Intercepted by Matabike.
Comes in his face right now. Looks like they wanted to shovel it, and instead, he just throws it up, bounces off a defender, and the big defensive tackle. Justin Matabike with a big play and turnover for the Aggies.
Dusty, I missed you last night at midnight yell practice.
Don't be yelling to these good people.
Fumble on the field. Arkansas scoop, score. They got it right back. Room service. Harris.
It's a problem with the handoff. Mond thought he gave it to Spiller. Spiller didn't think he was giving it. Ball's on the ground. Hogs in the end zone. We got a ball game at Jerry World.
Kellen Mond 16-9 as a starter coming into this afternoon. At the pass, fumbled it. He put it on the ground. This time able to scamper and get it back. TJ Smith with the hit on the play.
Well, TJ Smith made a couple of nice plays today.
And Mond is limping.
The defensive tackle spot. Let's watch him work inside. We're going to see him come right over here. Sorry, he was coming more off the edge. Beats the tackle, 75. Luke Matthews, who's in the game. Backup who's having to play.
Boy, and Nick Starkel is being carted off the field.
He's a true freshman to be coming in for Arkansas, Zach Calzada.
That's all good.
Oh, Ben Hicks.
Sorry, Ben Hicks started the game. Started the season, the first 2 games. They handed off this time. Spiller able to get the handoff, unlike the last time. And that's the picture of concern for the Arkansas side right now. Starkel, the starting quarterback for the last couple of games. Looks like he's holding his arm.
Ben Hicks familiar with the system of Chad Morris. He was with him at SMU before transferring here to Arkansas.
Also a transfer. This is Burks on the return. Back to the 26. Trying to get to the edge. Got a nice block. Sprung him loose. Burks into A&M territory at the 40-yard line. Awkward looking end over end snap right between the tackles. Boyd still keeping those feet moving, powering his way, indomitable to a first down. Boy, a spirited Rakeem Boyd was spinning 16 yards.
Vision and burst through the hole for Rakeem Boyd. As that block goes, watch him see the hole open up and burst through it for a big first down.
Back shoulder fade, touchdown, Woods.
Watch the placement of this football. Back shoulder where only his receiver, Mike Woods, can make a play on the football. Elijah Blades has no chance. I mean, that's a fantastic throw. Little push off, but perfect placement of the ball by Ben Hicks. And I'd say the quarterback, he loves it as he daps up Mike Woods in the end zone.
And completes it, though, down to the 10. Davis on the move. Davis, touchdown!
Keep fighting, man. It's just going to be a long fourth quarter here. Long 4 quarters right here, baby. We got half to go now. Half to go, man. Have to go. Here we go, man. Here we go. Hey, nothing less important than what? Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Doesn't matter. That last drive, no difference. We got to come out and play this drive right here. This series, win plays, win series. I told you it was going to be a heavyweight fight. Hey, let me tell you something else. It's going to go the distance. It's going to go the distance. But hey, let's make sure those officials are pulling us off of it at the final whistle, man. You fight to the final whistle. You got it. If you do that, you'll like the result.
And that was the next play. Scoop and score touchdown, put Arkansas back in business. And here we are, coming out of halftime with another close game between these two teams.
Mond was impressive at the end of the second quarter there. Completes that one to Buckley. Let's go down to Olivia for more. His left elbow. He didn't start the game with that. Mond sacked.
And makes a nice sack. Watch him come, and he's going to shut it down when he gets to the level, come inside, and get the sack of Kellen Mond. Nice play by the senior defensive end, Gabe Richardson.
Play fake. Hicks fires a dart complete to Jackson. Backside heat. Hicks got rid of it to the right guy. O'Grady down to the 41 for the first down. He's made the tackle. Hicks with a little bit of time, wide open to Woods. And Woods put his hat down and looked to run over the defender. Trying to hook a big one here. Hicks makes the catch at the 11-yard line. Hand off this time. Whaley, touchdown Hogs! Strike opposed.
Come out in the second half, great drive. Watch everything down the zone, see the vision, the cutback, and Devois Whaley finds the end zone.
See what Mond does here to counter. Backside pressure, and he's dragged down by his shoestrings from behind. Bumper Pool.
We're going to get some pressure coming here, and watch 86 keep contained outside as Kellen Mond flushes. The blitz comes off the edge, forces Kellen Mond to roll outside, evades it. It's an outstanding job by 86. Jamario Bell to keep contained.
Getting a lot of plays this afternoon. Mond incomplete. Boy, they sat on that route. McClellan was waiting on that. Osmond, the intended target. Mond out of the shotgun. Surveys. Picked off in the end zone by Brown. And Brown kills the A&M drive.
Kellen Mond gets locked in on his favorite target and roommate, Jamon Osmond. I want you to take a look at Kellen Mond's eyes. Never takes his eyes off of his target. It's great coverage down the field by Monteric Brown. He's going to get pressure, step up. He was going there the whole way. He was locked in on his guy, regardless of the coverage.
Quarterback option. Mon got collared. Took a shot to the neck on 1st and goal. They're going to throw it. Touchdown, Davis. Hicks got rid of it and caught. Redemption for Burks, who is the perpetrator on that last penalty. From the 49, 2nd and 10. Quick slant complete to the tight end O'Grady. Fights for some extra yards and on the Razorbacks. Hicks delivers. Strike at the 25-yard line. And a 1st down to Morris. This from 51. This one from 40. And he makes it a 1-point game. Gain on the play. They run it into the boundary with Capote and nowhere to go. Aggies 5 of 9 on 3rd downs today. Mon sacked at the 33 by Bell.
Presses the edge. Watch him take the offensive tackle right into the quarterback, working on Carson Green. Just a bull rush, long arm, comes off. It was good coverage down the field.
Keep an eye on number 85. Downfield, what a thread, what a pass, complete.
Great catch, but how about the throw? The placement of that football was flawless.
Arkansas head coach Chad Morris not only coached the SMU Mustangs for 3 years here in Dallas, he spent 16 years coaching in the state of Texas. He's going to need every ounce of experience he has gained in this state, and he's from Dallas, you guys. He has 50 to 75 people here today, friends and family that he told me he had to get tickets for. Nothing would mean more than winning here in Dallas.
Olivia, this is the ball game. Let's see what he calls. They're going to pass on 4th and 2. Hicks complete for the 1st down. O'Grady, money time. Hicks, double move, caught at the 24-yard line. Woods. Hicks steps up, stays on his feet, miraculously. Hicks with the trick. Down to the 18, 35 seconds to go. And they're going to use their last timeout after that 18-yard gain. And Jerry Jones is loving it too. Clemens missed a tackle for Texas A&M.
Arkansas, their 3rd and final of the 2nd half. 30-second timeout.
Okay, so he can run too, Dusty.
Is college football any fun? Nice move by Brown. Flushes him up in the pocket. Clemens thinks he has him. He's tackled right. No, Ben Hicks isn't going to give up. He's fighting, he's scratching, he's clawing.
37 seconds to go. From the 19, Hicks drops way back, got rid of it. Almost intercepted. Buddy Johnson had to go right through his hands.
All right, let's take a look at it. It's going to O'Grady the whole time. He's going to try to work his way all the way across the field. Texas A&M was not falling for it. 2 different defenders right there, Jeremiah Martin, Buddy Johnson. They were not going to allow Cheyenne O'Grady to come open. I like the play design. They try to sneak him out the back, go to the far side, but it's well defended by Texas A&M. Wow, what a game, what a finish. Both these teams fighting to the bitter end.
Jimbo Fisher's team will improve to 3-2. And Chad Morris will see his Razorbacks fall to 2-3 and lose for the 8th consecutive time against the Aggies. Hicks almost provided heroics at the end. He was invariable.
We now move on from our Canadian portion of the program to get back to the great state of Texas, Texas A&M and Arkansas. Kellen Mond, former Texas A&M quarterback, now Arkansas quarterback Nick Starkel before the game. Starkel picked off.
Yeah, this Arkansas team lost to San Jose State last week. There is no way that you're going to come and compete with Texas A&M.
Yeah, you're not.
This has to be
the
a blowout.
spread said it was going to be a beatdown. Everyone said it was going to beat down. Starkel would get
that's a scary moment right there.
Left the game, would not return. What about Mond and Texas A&M? Down 3, 16 seconds left in the half. Mond to Courtney.
Yeah, Kellen Mond looked real comfortable in this game, throwing from the pocket, getting through his progressions, 3 touchdown passes for Mond.
But we joke around. Arkansas was in this game to win it. Early fourth quarter, Texas A&M down again. Mond again has to come through. Great touch to Davis.
Yeah, Davis had 2 touchdown catches in this game, 7 total catches, 62 yards.
So a minute 25 left in the game. Arkansas down 31-27. Ben Hicks replaced Starkel. Hicks to Cheyenne O'Grady.
Yeah, the SMU transfer came in the second half, kind of brought some life to this offense.
We were talking about that. The tempo picked up. Hicks now to Mike Woods, 22-yard gain. Arkansas now 4th and 5, game on the line, and this is how it ends for Arkansas.
Arkansas has a chance in this game. They've already lost 12 straight to SEC opponents. Can they? 13 straight to SEC opponents.
Texas A&M and Arkansas, when they meet, it's wild. This rivalry has given us some thrillers. Let's go to 2014. The Aggies rally from a 14-point second-half deficit by scoring the game's final 21 points, the last on an overtime touchdown for a 35-28 win over the Razorbacks. The following year, A&M came back from an 8-point fourth-quarter deficit for a 28-21 win, also in overtime. The game's final points on a 20-yard touchdown pass from Kyle Allen to Christian Kirk. 2017, also to overtime. Teams went back and forth, especially in a wild fourth quarter. But another OT touchdown catch by Kirk and Armani Watts pick sealed the Aggies win. And then you have last year, when A&M needed, believe it or not, more late heroics defensively in the form of a Donovan Wilson interception with just over a minute to go to clinch a 24-17 win over the Razorbacks. Now, this time around, they were a chunky favorite in Jerry World. Always a Razorback. Jerry Jones, former teammates, Nick Starkel, Kellen Mond, of course, remember, Starkel was that's cool. Aggie, right? All good. Second quarter, Arkansas trailing 14-3 in the red zone. Starkel, 5 picks last week in the loss to San Jose State. A costly pick here, and then he comes in to make the tackle, gets run over, and he's done for the game.
Yeah, I didn't like the decision here. It's complete panic. There's nothing there on second and goal. Throw the football through the uprights, come back, and live to play another down on third.
Instead, he was done at that point. Next play, Aggies football. Isaiah Spiller loses it. Arkansas. Dejon Harris picks it up and takes it in, and the Hogs have cut this down to a 4-point deficit.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing in terms of critical things in games that hurt your football team. Turnovers, but much less turnovers for touchdowns.
How about the SMU transfer, Ben Hicks? Remember, he started the opener, struggled. Starkel took over. Hicks this time comes in off the bench, played a heck of a game. Arkansas had the lead, and then Mond to Cameron Buckley, 22 yards, and the Aggies get the lead back.
Momentum swing back and forth like we've become used to in this rivalry.
No doubt. Third quarter, Starkel on the sideline, throwing, trying, but not coming back into the game. It would stay Ben Hicks. Razorbacks in the red zone. Devois Whaley, 11 yards for the score, and the Hogs take the lead back.
That was a nice cutback, nice vision by Whaley, and we've been looking for him to produce, and today he had a better game than he's had all year.
And then A&M bouncing back like they did all game long. Mond to Jamon Osborne, first down. Aggies. And then Mond to Courtney Davis, 3 yards. Osborne took him out at the 3. Aggies lead 28-24. Now, here comes Arkansas. Last chance. Down 4. Final drive. Ben Hicks to the big tight end, Cheyenne O'Grady on 4th and 2. First down. Move the change. Hogs with a chance. 3rd and 22. I didn't know Hicks had this in his game.
No, I didn't either. Look at him put his foot in the ground at the top of his drop, get vertical, and give themselves an opportunity on 4th and manageable.
That's right, 4th and 5. Can they stay alive? Hicks looking for O'Grady, but he is under massive pressure. The throw actually hits O'Grady in the chest, but he can't make the catch, and Jimbo Fisher's Aggies survive Arkansas again.
and that we didn't play as well as we need to, but there was a lot of resilience, there's a lot of competitiveness, and that's the way we've been. So an SEC win's an SEC win, and there's no bad wins. But at the same time, we have to quit and find a way to quit allowing teams, when we're playing well and doing good things, to get back in football games and allow them to do that. Again, hats off to them. They played their tails off.
And we've just got to find a way to win. And that's really all this is. We have to find a way to win a game like this. And we will. And that's on us as coaches. We got to continue to keep coaching hard and continue to put these young men in situations to be successful. And that's what we're going to do. And we're going to go back to work. I thought he was very calm. And as a matter of fact, on the sidelines, he was very prepared. And he knew that, he had a great feel for what was going on with our offense. And I think he's had a chance over the last couple of weeks to step back and prepare himself, knowing that the opportunity was going to come again. And so I did think he played well. I thought that he gave us a chance. I thought he put some good balls on the money, and that was good to see. And that's what you ask of your backup when he comes in.
Hicks did throw for 188 and a touchdown. 7th time in the last 10 games between these two. It's been decided by a touchdown or less, and the Aggies have won 8 in a row against Arkansas. But, right, and there is a but here. This was not a performance that they should use to grow on.
First of all, anytime you win a game in the SEC, that's something to celebrate. But I think if you go back and look at the way you played today, there's big-time concerns over that because of things that have haunted them in previous games. And losses to Clemson and losses to Auburn, they haven't been able to do two things. They haven't been able to run the football. And this was against an Arkansas defense that was 13th in the conference when it came to defending the run. This was an Arkansas defense that gave up 220 yards 2 weeks ago to Colorado State. And this offense couldn't run the ball a lick. In addition to that, when A&M's offense struggles, it's sacks. Today, 4 sacks. They just cannot protect Kellen Mond, which is continually causing them issues in being able to distribute the football to those talented wide receivers.
I think of the first day Jimbo came there, and the first thing that he emphasized and said they talk about and work every day is physicality of the game. Right now, I don't see it. I didn't see it last week against a good Auburn team. You talk about running the football. Well, they can't run it because they can't move anybody off the line of scrimmage. You're looking at a defense that gave up 500 yards to San Jose last week. They held them to 340 yards today. Like you said, 4 sacks. Defensively, Arkansas got after them today.
Yeah, second fewest yards offensively of the season for A&M. The only team they gained less yards against was Clemson.
Yeah.
And they do, though, get the win. Now, Arkansas, who knows? 55 against Colorado State. You lose against San Jose State. Then you almost beat A&M. What's the read on these Razorbacks?
I don't think there's any way to have a read on them. I think if there's one thing that you're happy about, if you're Chad Morris, it's the return with some energy and some excitement today when they got a chance to bounce back from that San Jose State game last week. A lot of teams probably would have gone in the jar, but today I saw fight from them that leads me to believe that there's some things that they can build on and some positivity that they're not going to mail the season in for the rest of the year.
The read is inconsistency. Sometimes the offense is doing well. Sometimes the defense is doing well. Sometimes together, neither one of them are doing well. There's no consistency on either side of the ball. That's very frustrating for a head coach.
But they get the win. Arkansas doesn't. A&M does. Both teams are off next week. A&M's next game is home against Alabama.